Hi everyone, welcome to the fifth video in the Argo 2020 Quick Start video series. In this video, we're going to discuss how to add and remove members of your own organization and other organizations to a grant application once you've started it. In the previous videos, we've discussed how to find the Argo 2020 login page. We've talked about how to add a sponsor organization and an administrator account. We've talked about how to add other users to your sponsor organization. And then we've talked about how to create and initiate a grant application. After we've done all those things, we're going to want to be sure that we assign people to be able to work on the application in a role that suits their business needs for that application. Okay, so to do that, again, we're going to need to log in as the original administrator of the account. That's the sponsor administrator that we talked about in previous videos. Now, we created an application in the previous video, and once you've created an application from your home page, you're going to have a series of tasks available to you, right? These are all the applications that I've created under this sample sponsor organization. The last video, I created this one, 0036. Most of you will only have one in here since it's a new system and since you're just starting, okay? To access the application that I want to assign different people to, I simply will click on the link for this application, in this case the 00036. Now, the way that the system is set up, by default, all of the members of your organization that have been added to the system have a role to be able to work on the application. You may want that to be true, or you may not want that to be the case. Either way, you're going to click on the Management Tools option and come down to the option that says Add Edit People. At this point, you're only adding and editing people for this document, okay? So in this case, I've got 4 people in my sponsor organization, but I only want 2 of them working on this application because I want the other 2 doing something else entirely, okay? By default, all the members of my organization can work on this application in the role that they have in my organization. You'll see that I have a couple of people that are sponsor administrators and a couple of people that are sponsor staff, okay? Within my application, only a sponsor administrator can submit or withdraw the application. Everyone here that's a staff or an administrator can edit and save the pages in the application, but only the administrator can ultimately submit the application, okay? So, in this particular case, let's say that Dana, who is another administrator within my organization, I don't really want her to be able to work on this application, okay? But I do want her to be able to see it. In that case, I could change her role for this application to sponsor viewer, okay? In addition, my other sample staff member, I don't want them involved in this application at all. I would simply uncheck the box next to their name to remove them from the application, and then I will click Save. So in that example, I have removed the sample staff member from this application. They're not going to see anything in their inbox or their task list related to it. In this case, for Dana, even though in my organization she's a sponsor administrator, I've changed her role within this particular application to just be a sponsor viewer. Okay? So I have a lot of flexibility for how I allow members of my organization to work on the application that I've created. In addition, let's say that I've hired a grant consultant to assist me with this application. That grant consultant will have to go through the steps to create a user account in the new system, and they're going to request to be part of the grant consultant's organization. Once they've done that and they've been approved, I can add them to this application. I'll use this person search feature And in this case, I'm going to search for somebody named Grant Consultant. I didn't find anybody named Grant Consultant. But I'm remembering now that I might have somebody named Sample Consultant. There they are. Sample Consultant is a member of the Grant Consultants organization, but I want them to work on my grant application, okay? I don't need to add them to my sponsor organization. I only need to add them to this application. So I'll check the box next to their name. I'll choose the role that I want them to have on the application. In general, we recommend that the folks working on your application have a sponsor staff role, because if you give them an administrator role, they're going to be able to withdraw or submit it without you having final approval. Okay, so if you're a sponsor administrator and you have the ultimate authority or the ultimate liability for this grant application, you may decide that you want to be able to see it before it can be withdrawn or submitted. So in this case, I've got the sample consultant, I've got the security role, and I also have an option to end their participation in this application if I want to. If I choose a date for that, it'll populate here. If I leave it blank, it will keep them going throughout the life cycle of the application. At this point, I'm going to click Save. This is going to take me back to my menu for my document, and I'm going to see all of the people that are able to work on the application. Okay, and now you'll notice, just to summarize, I've taken sample staff off the application, I've changed Dana to be a sponsor viewer, and I've added a grant consultant from another organization as sponsor staff so that they can edit and save the forms in this application. And that's all there is to it. In the next video, we'll discuss saving the forms in your grant application.